parent. And while typically I would introduce you to my family and myself in the year of 2025, to tell my story, I'd actually like to introduce you to myself and my family in 2021, because that is when I first learned and was introduced to Head Start. So, first, the keynote speaker. Love that. That was great. She talked about hitting a wall, hitting that why bother. And in 2021, that's what I was hitting. I felt like I was drowning in a home by myself. I had 3 kids under 3, and that wasn't the plan. And my husband and I had moved far from any of our family. I had no community, I had no help, and I had 3 babies home alone, and my husband was an hour and a half from our house. I was undiagnosed with many things, and felt like a zebra living among horses and didn't know how to exist. My daughter is my middle, and she had just turned 3. My son was going into GSRP, he'd already done preschool, and somebody said, why not Head Start? And I said, well, he's going to GSRP, and they said, no, not for your son, your oldest for your daughter. She's 3, she can't go into Head Start. And I said, I can have 2 kids out of the house and just focus on the baby and just do the bottles and just change the diaper, and I don't have to worry about teaching the alphabet or reading the books or doing all of the steps because I am so exhausted. And so I signed her up. She is my biggest feeler. She has the largest emotions possible. I was supposed to set a timer and I forgot, so thanks. Okay. She's the biggest emotions possible, like me, and I was never taught to deal with that. I was taught to shut it down. I was taught not to think about it. I was taught to please other people and make other people comfortable, and I never wanted that for my kids. Head Start starts teaching her how to deal with those big emotions. We get this dice, this rolling dice. We're doing balloon breaths and star breaths and shower breaths and crazy amounts of stuff. And I have a community. I have people who are giving me tools. I have people who are showing up for me at home visits and asking how I am doing, not my kids, me. She moved on to GSRP. My youngest, he's almost 3, not quite. You know what? I know that he can go into Head Start as soon as he turns 3, but this is more complicated because he's been receiving speech this whole time. I was so grateful to have my other 2 somewhere because I needed to focus on this. He was 18 months only saying, Dada, and he was getting frustrated, and I was getting frustrated. Now he has a speech therapist that comes into his classroom multiple times a week. He's having conversations with his buddies and his friends. In 2021, I had a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and not quite a 3-year-old, and I was drowning. In 2025, I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 4-year-old. They just have birthdays. And my 4-year-old who couldn't speak in 2021 is telling me stories about his day. He loves his teachers. He's happy to go every day. I don't know how to tell him. But that's his community conversation. He has a community that he didn't have before. I have a community. I kind of skipped this part a little bit. I focused a lot on my kids. And I did talk about the tools that Head Start provided me, but that community piece, let me tell you where that's from me. 1, here. You want to talk about like imposter syndrome? I feel that same way. My director asked if I would be willing to speak, and I said, I don't have much to say, but if you'd like to use my voice, it's yours. And I don't think I would have had the confidence to say yes 3 years ago when I came here at my first conference. So I've learned a lot. I also built this community. My first year at Policy Council, I decided to be a parent. And they took me under their wings, and they started to tell me, wow, you have so many amazing skills, you should utilize those. Why aren't you doing that? I can help you build a plan. Do you want a plan to do that? Let me help. That led to a friendship where I met her whole family. That led to her kids being friends with my kids. That led to a summers of kids playing together and me finally going out with my husband for the first time in 6 years because we never had a sitter. We never had family to do that for us. And she was a part of Policy Council. She's here today, not as a part of any of this, just to support me. And I have that because of Head Start. So that's where I'm at now. And my what if, she talked about that, is I realized, what if I believed in myself as much as everybody through Head Start and here has? I think I could go really big places.